Right, hello everyone, and welcome back to FTRL for a brand new season in GT7. Joining me tonight to mumble through this commentary, I've got my good friend FTRL Panda, aka Will. Evening, mate.
Evening, Simon. I don't know if something's happening with the lobby already. Two people seem to have left, so we'll see.
Well, who's hosting? Is it Mike? He tends to have some issues with people.
Yeah, we'll be nice and say it's first week teething issues.
So, as we said, new season. So, a whole raft of changes to rules and regs from season 24. We should probably touch base on just what the hell's going on. So we've got a 10-week season in Group 3 cars. We've got teams of 3 drivers. So we've got a pro-am, and an am category. So even if you're not particularly quick in your division, you've got something to race for. We've got a mix of sprint races and endurance races. Tonight we've kicked off with a sprint week, so it will be 3 16-lap races. Interesting thing to note with the sprint races this season is the decision the drivers have got to make over tyre choice.
Yeah, it's like you got 2 races where you can only use the medium tyre, and then 1 race where you can only use the soft tyre. So it's going to be interesting to see who goes what and when.
Yeah, certainly going to spice things up in the strategy department. We've also got the F1 style qualifying for this one.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah, so 3 5-minute sessions. We'll lose the slowest 3 from Q1, we'll lose 4 from Q2, and it will leave us an 8-car shootout for the pole position.
Absolutely. I think we're nearly getting underway now, to be fair.
Yeah, qualifying should be kicking off shortly.
What do you think to the liveries this season, Si?
I think there's a good selection on there. Some very clean looking cars.
Indeed, there's some quick fit ones stood out to me so far. I'm very much enjoying that one.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the monstrosity that Mikey's driving, created by yours truly. It's what happens when you order a livery off of Wish.
It's a good livery side. Don't put yourself down.
I mean, when I look at where are they? They're all jumping around at the moment. But Fever, for example, driving that only man's car, I feel like I should be paying like a £5 monthly subscription to view that.
What you do with your money, Si, is none of my business.
But yeah, like I said, I do like that quick fit car. It's very
nice,
clean looking livery, that.
Yeah, he's got the colours bang on, as always, as Mr. Zom, I believe, did that one.
So another worthwhile mention, I think, is the return of one Mr. Joseph Burns.
Indeed, the return.
After a very long time out of FTRL.
Yeah, this is his first racing return, this one. It's going to be a big day for him.
Welcome sight to see him back on an FTRL grid.
Absolutely. His 63 at the end of his name does indeed stand for 1963. He is that old. So we'll see if he's still got the speed in him. But no, it's good to see him back on the grid.
Right, well, I don't want to do it, but Mikey's got the privilege of having the first flying lap, so we'll go on board with him.
See if he can make it round the sausage curbs of turn. Well, it's like 2 and 3, I suppose. Yeah, you got
so
3 and 4, I guess.
This is 2. So you've got 1 at 3, which has pitched him a bit wide yet. So that's compromised his line for turn 4.
Yeah, decent X out of turn 4 to be fair, despite the
I,
compromised lines.
I mean,
Actually, good first sector.
26.9 first sector, that ain't bad. Hard braking for the hairpin. Oh, big slide. He short shifted up to try and kill that wheel spin, but it's still bit.
Yeah, in practice, that's a corner that Mikey's got wrong a couple of times, to be fair.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm in the same car as Mike, and I'm finding that corner a challenge.
Yeah, whereas the Ferrari, for example, is fine round that corner, but it does not like a sausage curb. So it's interesting. You've got the different cars in the manufacturer seasons that give you different strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, lap times are sort of looking for anything in the 30. It's a pretty good soft lap time, I'd say, for GT2.
I'd say for Q1, Q2 being on the medium tyre, they're probably looking at maybe a mid-high 31.
Are they on the mediums? Or are they for Q1?
Q1, Q2, they have to use the mediums, and then it's softs for the shootout.
You say 31 would be a very, very strong time for GT2 medium lap. So we'll see if anyone can get close to that sort of time.
Yeah,
that's a steady start pace-wise, I think, from the grid there.
Yeah, I think they're just sort of trying to put down a banker time, if you will. Just get something on the board, and maybe the second lap will yield more.
Yeah, there's definitely a bit more time in there. I mean, Fever's found a 32.5, which has put a bit of daylight between him and the rest of the field. Probably the favourite for this session, I imagine, is Fever.
Yep, he's had some experience in GT1, so for that reason alone, he probably comes into this as a bit of a favourite.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to talk about the different cars that we've got on the grid at the minute. Obviously, Fever's driving that Subaru, which this track isn't really it's probably not a Subaru circuit really, with all the sort of twisty bits in the middle. It does mean he's going to be incredibly difficult to overtake, though. It's a bit of a rocket in a line.
Well, we've got Unsafe in the chat saying that Fever's done about 150 laps in practice, so he'll probably get pole.
that is Fever for you. He does do his practice.
Yep.
Good lap from Mikey, that. You said you're edging towards that 31 now.
Yep. I say I've seen one or two of these lads do that lap time in the practice session before this, so it is there.
Yeah, it's definitely there. I think the quickest I've seen GT1 do is your sort of very low 31s.
Yeah.
So anything heading towards the 31 in GT2 is going to be very competitive.
Right, we should probably look towards the bottom 3 at this point and see who's at risk. So we've got Royston, Super Hans, and Joe Burns in the bottom 3. Joe's finished, Hans is on a lap, and Royston's done. So Joe and Royston are out.
Yeah, not great for our team, that, Simon, but you know, we'll continue.
Yep.
The question is, Joe or Superhands going to be able to pull a bit of an improvement? He's probably not going to need much of an improvement to get out of the bottom 3, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, he only needs what, like maybe a 1/10 better than what he's got.
Yeah.
So he comes out at the final corner. Look like a clean exit. Charges for the line. What's it going to be? Good lap. Gets himself out of the bottom 3.
Very good lap. Who does that put in there?
It relegates Johnny Boy. So he's knocked his teammate out of Q1.
So we've lost. Who was that? Did we lose? Joe, Johnny Boy, and
Royston.
Yeah. So we've got Mikey setting the early pace there. 32.1. So it's a very competitive lap actually. And then we've got a lot of drivers sort of only a couple of attempts apart, down from third to sort of seventh, eighth. To be fair, it's pretty close down to 11th.
Yeah, so with that in mind, it's hard to call who's going to be going through and out in this one. So we lose the bottom 4 from the next session.
Oh yes, I mean realistically, pace-wise, you're probably going to want a mid 32 at the slowest. Looking at that,
Yeah,
because you're probably going to expect pace to increase as well. So you're going to want a mid 32, ideally a low 32 to be safe. And as you say, I'm sure there's a bit more pace to come from quite a few of the drivers there, so it could get quite competitive.
so we've touched on teammates in part. We should probably maybe have a bit of a more detailed rundown of who's where.
Might as well. Got a bit of time.
So as we've touched on, Mikey setting the early pace and Royston being at the complete other end of the spectrum. That's probably about the gist of what our team's going to be this season. So yeah, Mikey, Royston, and Nobby Norris are a bunch of tools. That's a pretty apt description of what we think of them and what the team name is.
Yeah.
In the only man subscription car, we've got Faber, Glyn, and Sir Goose.
Yeah. Very strong team.
That's
actually.
not a bad team on paper. That one.
Yeah, that's a good team.
Racing the quick fit cars, we've got Jonesy, Super Hans, and Beach.
Indeed, a bit more improving that team, I think, compared to the other that we've just seen.
We've got Tom and some Mongs. So that's the team of Zom, Autism, and Derek.
But that was a hard one to say.
It was.
You've just said the words "mong" and autism within about 2 sentences.
Yeah.
It's a rough one, that one. If you want to just throw the
I probably should have just
back on the screen.
Getting it done.
Hell yeah.
Multitasking is not one of my strong suits. And the last team is Auto Trader Racing, which is the team of Odon, Max Def, and Switchback. Switchback's not here tonight, and that's who Joe is standing in for.
Very nice. A return of the 3-man teams, which we don't often do. It's usually 2-man teams, hence why we didn't have to keep going on about teams forever. We only have a small number of 3-man teams this season, which is much more manageable for me to remember. So
yeah, and we of course have the combination with the GT1 drivers, which I'm not going to go into. I'll let Sean do that tomorrow night, but we have got the two leagues combined to make up the overall championship standing.
That's it. Both divisions are both running the same race as well, so same track, same rules, just like last season. So it means that the teams can practice together, which I think is what you need to do really if you're doing a combined teams championship. Kind of works. Right then, Mikey's going to be leading the way again.
Yep, he's being chased by Jonesy.
Or to give him his full title, Soft Hands Jonesy.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Jonesy gets on this season. As it's Mikey's round.
That's an impressive bit.
That's an impressive place to drop that, Mike. Well done.
Is that before he's got to?
Yeah, I think what he's done is he's run wide out of turn 1 and just dropped it on the curb before he's got to turn 2.
He's not wanted to ease off the throttle to keep it on the track. He's just gone happy right all turn. Didn't turn.
Yeah, so you got Jonesy and Sir Goose running in very close proximity to one another.
Yeah, I don't really know how this situation happens. It does seem to happen quite a lot, where you'll get too close in qualifying. You've got an entire lap to sort of give yourself room to the car in front, so it always confuses me a little bit. But there we go. So we're looking for mid to low 32s from the grid now if they want to secure their spot in the final 8 based on qualifying 1. Let's see who can deliver it. I mean, cars that are strong around here, probably looking at the Ferraris, probably looking at the Renaults. Anything mid-engine really, right?
You say anything mid-engined. The two cars you mentioned have actually got very good response as far as the cornering goes. They turn in quite nicely. The one thing about the RCZ that Mikey's in, although it's very stable, you can be a bit reluctant to get through the slower speed corners I've found around here.
Yeah. No, that's fair. We've had the first run of laps. Got Max. Very good lap from him, setting the pace, 32.7. Again, you're probably going to be wanting to head a little bit deeper into the 32s to make sure you're safe for this run.
Yep,
good lap from Nobby up there in third as well.
Yep, about to mention that. Nobby himself actually finding himself in some practice lobbies this week, which is nice to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, even by his own admission, he says he probably practiced more for this season than he has in any other season in FTRL. So long may that continue.
I saw a thing that I've never witnessed, which is Nobby putting into the chat last night. Lobby open.
Oh, that actually happened. I thought that was a dream.
No, it's weird. It flashed up on my phone. It's like lobby open. I was like, oh my god, I didn't know he was capable of opening a lobby.
I mean, I almost passed out last night because it was Nobby in a practice lobby and Mike leaving the pit lane to do some laps.
Oh yes, it's hard to say that. Right, Zom hits the front, 32.6. There's Fever into the 32 points.
So, who's got... Zom's finished, Nobby's finished.
Let's head down a little bit towards the bottom end of the leaderboard.
Who's the bottom 4 at the moment? So Super Hans is in the pit lane, so... By all accounts, he's done. So Goose is on a lap. Jonesy's done, so he's out. Derek's in the drop zone, but on a lap. Glyn's on a lap and at risk.
Yeah, I'd say Glyn probably has enough pace to get out, well, to clear himself of that risk. Just depends if he puts it together, I suppose. He's closing up on Derek here, so depends if it's going to compromise his line slightly. Yeah, Glyn's probably got the most out there pick of cars in the Nissan. Not one that was favoured by pretty much anyone across the two divisions.
No, I think that's probably the only GTO in the whole division, in the whole league. He's gone P6, so he's got himself out of danger.
Derek doesn't.
Push Derek into the drop zone, and I think that is our bottom 4 confirmed.
Yeah, Derek just couldn't improve. I mean, there was a 3-tenth gap there from to the safe zone. So there was a decent gap to make up, which he couldn't quite do. So it's going to send Derek out, it's going to send Jonesy out, Goose out, and Superhands. You got to say, Mikey pulled another good lap out there, considering he only had one, or maybe 2 goes at it with the spin he had.
Yeah.
So it's another decent effort.
I'll say that was his only flyer. So yeah. He's delivered under pressure.
Again, not something you thought you would say.
absolutely not. And Nobby Norris making the final 8, along with Andy, Glyn, Owen, Max, Zom, and Fever taking the fastest time of that session.
Yeah, we'll just call him Andy. But
Yeah, I think
we'll
that's
go Andy.
safe.
Yeah, we'll just go Andy. Got 26 people watching, so hello, all you lovely people. Please like the stream if you haven't already.
26 people watching and 1 like. Come on, guys.
I'm showing 15 on mine. Hopefully yours is just a bit out of date. I didn't know we were that disliked, Simon.
Maybe it's just me.
Fair enough.
There we go. It's jumped up to 17. That's better.
Here we go then. Final qualifying coming up. All the soft tyre, as you mentioned earlier. So you're going to be looking for, got 32s out of the mediums there on GT2, so you're going to be wanting low 31s, I suppose, on the softs now.
So we think there's probably about a second between the 2 tyres over a flying lap, would you say?
Yeah, there seems to be about a second. Yeah, it just depends if you can switch yourself into soft tyre mode immediately, because sometimes with some people it takes a couple of laps just to recognize where that extra grip is and use it. So we'll just see who can switch to that soft tyre mode the best in this final run. So we've got 2 RCZs that have made it towards the to the final, and then we've got a collection of other cars. Got a couple of Renaults, got a Nissan, a Beamer, a Subaru, and a Evo. So it looks like the Renault and the RTZ have gone fairly well around here so far.
That gives me a slim bit of hope for tomorrow night.
Yeah, so it should be okay.
So Lennon backing his GT2 teammate Fever for pole.
Yeah, it's hard to look past him at the minute. He obviously didn't quite set the pace in the first session, or was it Mikey at P1? I think it was, wasn't it?
Yep.
Whereas the second one, he was a good sort of 4 attempts clear. So we're going to see if anyone can get close to him. So we're looking for low 31s, maybe might squeak into a 30 for the absolute pole time. We will see. As you probably noticed, we've got the distinguishing colours, the different categories on the grid. So we've got the pros in sort of a purple pink, got the pro AMs in the sort of green, and the AMs are in blue. If that was right, Simon?
That's right. So,
oh, beautiful.
Yep, they'll have a little Pro-Am or AM sticker, and the wing mirrors are colour coded as well.
Means even people like Lennon can understand who's in what car, apart from Andy, who for some reason hasn't got a livery, unless it's just delivery glitch, which does happen. Is he a Pro-Am driver, or is he a Am driver, Andy?
I thought Andy... Is he not a pro driver?
I don't know.
That is his own livery.
Oh, fair enough.
He has got he's got a pink stripe on his wing mirror, but he has
Andy,
and he has got the pro banner hidden in the corner on the front seal.
Don't mean to be mean, but that's one of the laziest liveries I've ever seen. Honestly, Andy.
Right, so who's been able to, like you say, switch their mind into soft tyre mode the fastest?
Absolutely. First sector coming up. You're going to be looking for a 26, ideally, rather than a 27. Let's see if anyone can squeeze into that. Just about. hard to say. Seems to only give us a timing screen for one of them. So. Good old Gran Turismo spectator options.
I mean, they all look to be pretty even through there. They're all roughly around the same time. Right, no pressure, Mike, but we're watching your braking point.
Absolutely. Seems like a fairly clean run through that middle sector. Doesn't dip a wheel on the outside there, hooks it up nicely. Throttle down.
And pretty clean.
Yeah. Looks quite calm. Is it fast though, or just clean? Not bad. Decent benchmark. Max, couple attempts back. Tom's popped up to third, decent lap from Nobby as well. Up to fourth, Feeder. Can't beat Mike for now.
So
We'll have a second run at it.
So the top two from the first two sessions, setting the pace in this one.
Absolutely. I expect this one to be quicker. I've had a lap to get used to the soften out. So let's see who can take pole. At the minute, you're probably looking at Feeder or Mikey. The others are a couple of attempts back.
So Feeder has improved, but it's not a session best.
Ooh, took a lot of curb in that.
That was a lot of curb. Like you
I don't know if that's a quicker way around it. I'll try to avoid that curb, me.
I've probably driven about 100 laps this week, and I still haven't worked out that corner.
I tend to find that it depends how you drive it. The curb for me, I tend to avoid it. It upsets the car a bit, but there we go. You just go purple in the middle sector, having said that, so let's just ignore it. Just dip a little wheel down to the
whatever works
exit.
for you.
Yeah, whatever works. Yeah, I don't think it's to lift off much, but he did.
So Mike improves.
That's the benchmark then. Oh,
Max
bit wide from
improved.
Fever, that. She's got a little bit greedy in that last sector.
Right.
It's hurt him as well. Yeah, it's hurt him. There's a couple of attempts up until that.
Right, well, Mike's not going to improve anymore.
That's a 31.4
as he's rally crossing.
Oh, yes. I mean, Andy's taken that corner beautifully. Don't know how he did the rest of the sector, but that corner itself was nice.
But he's 8 tenths up on himself this time round.
Yeah, Andy not taking the curb. He's going for more of the sort of wider line. So if it being a sprint race, the qualifying position is more important than a traditional endurance race, so there's some pretty big laps from the drivers here. So we've got Matt in second now. So Phoebe's going to need to find about 2.5 attempts.
Okay, well, Max, whoa, on the limit.
Yeah, maybe a little bit over.
Yeah, it's cost him
a bit of time. Let's go on board then with Phoebe. Let's see if we can approach the line.
Andy improved to 6th. Phoebe nicks pole by 34 100ths of a second.
Absolutely, just put it together. A final effort. So we've got an only man's on P1, followed by a bunch of tools, but only one tool on this occasion. And then you've got the 2 Renaults, 3rd and 4th. Nobby, to be fair, fantastic qualifying in 5th. That's a very, very good effort.
Yep.
Then you've got Andy in 6th in the Beamer, and you've got Zom and Glyn. Any surprises in there, Sam?
No, I don't think so. Maybe one or two of the guys that we lost in the earlier sessions might have been thinking they'd be in this session, but no, I think on the whole it was. I mean, that midfield was pretty close.
It was very close. There was only a couple of attempts all the way from sort of ninth to, well, 14th, something like that. So that was very close anyway. We'll get loaded in. We'll have free sprint races, so we should have plenty of action to enjoy.
Yep. So we've got our traditional sort of touring car race layout now. So, like I say, got 3 races, 16 laps in length. Race 1 determined by the qualifying session we've just had. Race 2 grid will be determined by the finishing order of race 1. And then race 3 is a reverse grid based on the finishing order of race 2.
Oh yes, as you say, a very touring car-esque triple header.
And we've added obviously the tyre element as well. So
yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean,
so
usually you'd see the top guys that qualified maybe picking the softs to run away. That could be
that
an
could be an
option,
option, yeah.
unless Faber thinks he can hold position on the mediums and just drive his way around without letting anyone pass on the softs behind him. Let's see, really. So the tyre strategy is an interesting one on the softs as well, isn't it? So
It is. There's the debate of whether or not you can make it round without pitting, but from what I think a lot of us have experienced is if you start on the softs, you will be making a pit stop.
absolutely, it's very marginal. It's sort of thing. A lot of people that have tried it have run out of tyres in the last lap, maybe even last 2 laps, if you're less good like myself. So we'll see. I mean, you got some people now a little bit of tyre whisperers. I think Derek does a few long stints from his endurance races, so
Yeah,
maybe he could do a full stint on the softs. It just depends which car you're in, how soft that car is on tyres, as well as your personal driving. We will see. I mean, is there any cars there that are particularly good on tyres? Because I can't see the RX, for example, because I know the Mazda RX is pretty good, but that's not there.
yeah. I mean the RCZ I'd say has been pretty average. I mean,
Yeah,
like you say, a lot of these cars, it does come down to it can come down to driving style.
exactly. It can. I
Like you
mean, from
say,
my
if
testing, Subaru, the Subaru was pretty light on its tyres from what I did out of the grid there. The Ferrari and the Lambo is very much rear tyres, so hopefully the guys will set their brake balance accordingly.
yeah, the
Um,
RCZ has a tendency to, like I say, understeer in the slower corners. So the what is it, the front right tyre, the anti-clockwise track, so the outside front tyre is taking a bit of punishment.
it is, absolutely. It is. And you're going to use that tyre in that middle sector. I mean, there's some high speed, twisty stuff. It's going to absolutely munch him. There you go
Yeah.
for the tyres.
So what have we? Like I say, we've got a mix. So Mikey opting for the soft off of the front row.
Makes sense. I mean, there's a pretty good strategy, I think.
Odon looking like he's going to send it on the softs from directly behind Mikey. Super Hans is selecting softs. Bieber on the softs. Andy on the softs.
Got
So
a few more than I thought, to
a
be
few
fair, in
more
this
than
first race.
few more than I thought. So yeah. So I mean, have to keep an eye on what's going on through the mid pack because those guys a bit further down, starting on that soft tyre, should be making some early moves.
Absolutely, as we said, it's about a second that you gain on the softs. So it's definitely enough to make a move, especially with the extra traction you get out of the corners. It really does help, especially with that last corner. Probably your main overtaking point being turn 1 and the hairpin. Turn 1 is where that traction out of that last corner is more crucial to gain an advantage, which the soft does give you. Yeah, this is what makes this layout very interesting, rather than the traditional sprint races where everyone's on the soft tyres, whatever. With the mix, we're going to get more overtakes, going to get more defending, so should be good.
Okay, well, we're all lined up and ready to go for the first race of GT25. So, first 16 laps of Dragon Trail Gardens, nearly said Seaside. 5 lights are on. GT25 is underway officially. It looks like a good launch from Mike.
Yeah, he's already ahead.
Yep, the RCZ, great launch off the line. Got 2 or 3 wide through the first corner, but it looks like everyone's got through there safely.
Zom's gone for it.
Oh, so there's the Zom bomb.
He's absolutely sent it, making it 3 wide to turn 3 and 4.
Nobby's found himself into P4.
Yeah, he just about managed to avoid that little free car bit there, and he's got himself to 4th.
Yep, so good start for Mikey up front. Max Def hanging on to 3rd place. Bit wide from Nobby out of the hairpin, and he's collected Andy.
Oh, Andy's saved him, to be fair, and then Andy's collected someone else.
Zom, Derek,
Derek's
Andy's in the weeds.
Oh, Jesus.
Carnage in the midfield.
I was about to say how very well behaved he was, and it's gone wrong. That's brought up a couple of positions, I suppose, for Joe and Goose and Jonesy and Super Hands. They've all gained massively from that.
And somehow out of all of that, Nobby's kept P4.
Yeah, I think he'll be sending a thank you card to Andy.
Absolutely.
Kept him on the circuit. So where are we at with the softs and medium runners then?
Right, let's go from top to bottom. Oh, Phoebe's up in at P1. Where's Mike gone?
Yeah.
Mikey's gone from first to last.
Well, bit of contact at the back there's put Zom into the grass, so he'll be happy.
Right, so Phoebe on the softs, Max on the mediums, Owen's on softs, Nobby on mediums, Glyn on mediums, softs for Super Hans, Goose on mediums, Joe on mediums, Andy on softs. Getting a bit of argy-bargy with Jonesy there.
It's not really the corner to go into too wide there. It all gets very narrow. You're best off doing it on the exit.
Right. Jonesy on medium, battling Derek also on the medium. Mikey on the soft, so after his late lap 1 drama, he'll be looking to put those to use now.
Yeah, I mean he's got the pace. He just needs to knuckle down, and he will catch up with the extra traction. He will be able to overtake. He just needs to make sure it doesn't get to him.
Yeah, Weston, Johnny Boy and Zom all on the medium. So Phoebe doing what he needs to do at the moment and just building a gap.
Absolutely. I mean, race pace on the softs. You're going to want to be in the 31s, I think, in GT2. Same for the mediums. You're going to be in the 32s. That's going to be ideal race pace.
Max isn't in bad shape here because he's got, about 5 seconds back to Glyn, who's the next medium runner.
Yeah, he's had a really clean start as Max has kept himself out of any drama. And that's all you need to do, really, on the first couple laps of the sprint race.
Nobby's fallen back to P6.
Yeah, Glyn's going to have a super hands for company here.
Oh, it's all getting a bit tight
Glyn's
in there.
got a lot of curb. It's going to compromise his exit. Goose got a bit of a dodgy exit as well. So this is going to come together in this hairpin here.
Is Nobby going to send this one? No, and Andy has though.
Oh, he did well to avoid Nobby there, to be fair to him.
He's done very well. Good heads-up driving there.
Side by side there through the middle sector with Nobby and Goose. And Glyn, to be fair. Andy's trying to come around the outside. That is a lovely little
Made
move
it
from Andy,
stick.
that.
Good little move, that. Yep.
I enjoyed that. So Hands up into 4th now. He's under pressure though.
Yep, Glyn's not letting this one go without a fight.
No, I mean, Hands has gained a lot of positions in his opening couple of laps.
Yep, putting that soft tyre to work well.
Absolutely. You see Glimmer's on the mediums.
Oh, there's Nobby in the Evo in its natural habitat.
Absolutely bit of rally.
So, out front, Owen's latched onto the back of Max. So they're on different tyre strategies.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably going to expect
The old
Max to let Owen go here.
I see a bit of team orders coming into play.
Although Max has not moved out the way, so maybe they're not doing team orders in their team. We will find out as this develops.
Let them race.
Let them race.
Oh yeah.
Let's just say, so
Fever
let's
5 seconds
tyre
up the
wear
road
then.
now.
How are those soft runners doing for their tyres?
Well, as you'd expect, there's a bit of wear on the outside front tyre for Fever. Max, not a lot of wear on that at all. Owen in better shape on his front tyre than Fever, I would say.
It's quite impressive in that run as well, actually. It's a good bit of tyre wear from him.
And he's made his way up to 4th. So that midfield congestion is still being played out.
I think that's
So
Mikey there that sent it into that corner.
Yep.
Big fan of that. He knows he's got to make these positions up now, and this obviously can't be held up in this train. Is anyone going to do a no-stop on the softs? You'd probably say that Owen's best place to do one if he wants to.
I'm keeping an eye on Owen, because if anyone's in a position to do it, I would say it's him, given the tyre wear that we've seen so far.
Oh, Mikey's going to get involved there. It's going to get very, very tight with Goose. Keeps it clean though. He's got a good exit. Derek's got a fantastic exit.
Goose has got a Derek on the other side of him. Derek's going to probably have Mikey up the inside here as well.
Yeah, Mikey won't want to let Derek through there on the mediums and the softs. It's going to cost him. But I think he's got a good run around the outside there.
Yep.
It's a good move that from Mikey up to 7th.
Glyn and Super Hans continue to duke it out.
Yeah, he's not letting that one go.
But I think now he's going to have to turn his attention to what's come up behind him.
Yeah, there is a
rampaging Mikey.
It's gone a bit wide there, Glyn, as well. Let's see if he gets a good run into this penultimate corner. Faber is now disappeared on the road, looking at the track map.
Hans was a little bit wide through that final part of the last corner. Almost gave Glyn a run at him.
He is. The issue Mikey's going to have here is Glyn's going to get a bit of slipstream from Hans, so it's going to have to be a little bit of a send to get past him. Decides not to.
So Renaults have switched around.
They have. Andy will be extremely happy to have got a little bit of daylight between him and the drama that's occurring behind. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Oh. He's done well to keep that point in the right direction as Glyn. And actually got a pretty decent exit considering. Not a bad effort that. Mike's going to have to hang it around the outside just like he did. He's not broke as late though as Glyn.
So, yeah, Glyn toughing it out.
Yeah, he's been on the defensive drive.
Oh, here comes Mike. Jeez.
Oh, he's through.
It was robust. but effective.
Absolutely. So he's got a little bit of time to close in now on Soup Hands, to close in with those soft tyres. It's going to be looking nearly towards the pit window, probably lap 7 or 8 is when people are going to come in for the new soft tyres, I would imagine.
Yeah, Fever checked out to the tune of 8 seconds out front.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I mentioned that that you're probably going to be wanting to do 31s on the softs based on what we call qualifying pace. Fever's been doing that. And that is why he's 8 seconds clear. Let's have a look at the tyre wear. Owen's tyres have taken a little bit of a hammering now, actually, the last few laps. I think he's been trying to get some speed out of it. So he's on the margins now of a no stop, really. He's probably going to have to pit.
Yeah,
Super Hands, how's he doing?
Andy won't be getting those to the end, I don't think.
No, that'll be a pit stop.
Super Hans, on the other hand,
He can do a no stop and look by that fairly comfortably. And a worn soft tyre is still quicker than a medium tyre anyway. And the medium tyres are going to be worn by the end of the race, so
yeah, I'd
Super
imagine
Hands on a good spot.
I imagine Michael pit off of those soft tyres.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of spins and a good bit of battling has put a bit of wear on them.
Any more for any more? No, that's a lot as far as soft tyre runners go.
Absolutely. So we're going to see if they're going to pit, it's probably the lap. Fever's he's going to want to come off those. I mean, technically he could probably get to the end, right? I mean, he's half worn, half the lap's done. So, and he's got a gap, so he might be thinking, let's just tough it out.
What do we reckon a pit stop is? About 15 seconds?
Yeah, about 14 seconds, 15 seconds or so.
So given that Owen and Andy are possibly pitting as well, he's probably going to be like P2.
Yeah, and at that point you're probably just going to play it safe and pit. But as you imagine, the gap he's got anyway, the chances of someone being able to close that in are pretty low. So, I mean, either way, Phoebe's in a good position. Again, Owen's tyre is very slightly better than Fever's, so he could, in theory, get to the end, but it'll be very, very tight. Best placed driver at the minute on tyre was probably Super Hands.
It's all calmed down a little bit for the moment. Fever's kept on going.
Interesting. He would have.
As is Owen.
Intriguing this. I expected to see a few.
Andy will dive in.
Yeah, he's going to have to. The Beamer is a bit of a tyre muncher. Mikey's continued, which is surprising, because that tyre is not going to get to the end, so he will need to pit, and you might as well pit now. Because, I mean, if you've got a dead tyre, you're going to lose a couple of seconds a lap just with that completely dead tyre. It's only a 14-second pit stop, so quickly see how pitting's probably quicker if you're going to munch your tyres. If you can conserve them, then that's another thing.
Bagani's saying, can we get Mikey a new calculator so he knows where halfway is?
He's going for the best tyres at the end, that's what he's doing. But yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen a pit stop actually, apart from Andy, who was always going to pit.
Yeah, so where did that put Andy? Back down to 13th. It looks like he's had a moment out the hairpin.
Yeah, I think he would have been a bit further up, I believe. what are we going to see then from the front runners? I mean, Faber's continued. Owens continued.
Mikey's in.
Mikey's in. As I said, that tyre was being eaten alive, so it needed to happen. Just going to get a quick drink so you continue.
So Mikey emerges behind Andy, so these two both on fresher softs, so that should be an intriguing fight to the flag. Got Zom having a look at Jonesy. Fair and clean move from Zom. Derek and Glyn still glued together. But yeah, Bieber still extending out front.
Yeah, I suppose if you can make them just about last, fair enough. As Pagani said in the chat there, when they wear a little bit, you can start to slide a bit more and potentially wear them out a bit quicker. Especially when you haven't got the fuel drain like you usually do, because typically the car would get lighter, and therefore you'd wear the tyres less.
Yep.
Which we don't have. So, yeah, you may see a little bit of increased tyre wear with slides when they do start to wear more. But it looks like Fever and Owen are committed now, so this is a no stop for them. Super Hands is also going to do a no stop with those tyre wear, don't blame him. And then you've got Mike who was pitted and Andy who was pitted. Everyone else is on the medium tyre.
So, where are our battles hiding at the moment?
Yeah, so we've got, what,
Glyn and Derek.
Probably got a 7th, 8th and 9th as well. Still a solid result this for Nobby if he can hold on.
Mikey glued to the back of Andy.
This is not what they wanted. The two soft drivers don't need to be tangling.
They don't want to be. Sorry, they don't want to be fighting with each other. They want to be getting on up the road.
Oof, it's one of them where if someone's quicker than you, it's probably worth just fighting them too hard, because you're probably going to be able to follow them through the grid if you're on the soft tyre. However, that is not happening. Fair play.
I mean, even though they are battling, they are probably still making a little bit of time up on the guys in front, but think how much more it could be.
Yes, and as those mediums start to wear as well, this is where the biggest pace difference is between medium and soft tyres. Is heading into these last few laps. Someone pulled out a slipstream now, ahead.
33.8 for Jonesy versus a 32.2 for Andy.
Yeah, so even with that baton, they're still getting to second. I think it might be a couple of seconds if they were doing clean laps. That was what was it, 8th and 9th battle?
That's too much curb for Mike there.
Yeah, he's just dropped off a little bit.
And the penalty, I thought that was coming.
Yeah, it's not ideal that. Andy's going to have a look at Jones here, potentially. Oh, just about. He's going to have a lovely run out of there, though. Big slide on the exit as well. But he's through. That is the advantage of those soft tyres, that traction out the hairpin. How's our Nobby battle going? Ah, he's dropped, unfortunately. Just lost P7 and P8 there.
Oh, there's someone off in the background there. Who's that? It's Andy.
Yeah, so I was just saying that Andy had made a good move and got himself clear. He had an accident. How's our tyre wear looking at the front of the field? Oh, Sergo just sends it into the Zom. Big fan of that.
Yep, the king of the Zombomb being Zombombed.
Yeah, you got to respect it.
Derek and Glyn going side by side.
Yeah, at least Glenn's found someone else to battle with. It isn't Super Hands. Derek's going to come back on him here. Has the inside line.
Just carried a bit too much speed into that first corner, did Glyn.
Yeah, he's going to look for a good exit here, is Derek, just to keep that gap as...
Big moment, well held. Well held, sir.
Yeah, he's had a couple of them as Glyn through 4 and 5. So tyre wear wise, I mean, Faber's going to start to struggle now. Those tyres are looking very second-hand.
You say that. Look at the right rear on Faber.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah. Oh. And we said he had better tyre wear for the first half of the race, so he is absolutely munched them.
He's absolutely sent it in the second half, and he's going to be struggling for traction out of these slower corners with that rear tyre.
Yeah, so that's going to be a tough few laps for him. Thankfully, he's got a good gap to Max behind. Supans is fine. He'll be alright. Derek's having a very good little driver, actually. He's up to 5th, which is a very good race.
Glyn's front right suffering. Didn't want to make that corner, did it?
It's the downside of that Nissan, which I think has thrown a few people off. The tyre wear is pretty extreme. I think it's because it doesn't turn very well, so you've got to pretty much max lock it to get it in, which then burns those tyres. So he's going to come under a lot of pressure from guys like Zom and Goose behind him with that tyre wear. Speaking of which, Zom's going to look potentially through the inside here.
Zom catching some dirt.
Yeah, he's gone a bit too far on the inside, and that's let her.
Oh, here comes Mikey.
Through. I feel like all I've done today is watch Mikey overtake people. So what's Mikey's target finishing position here? Probably the head of this little group. So probably P5.
Yeah, P5 would be his maximum.
Yeah, that'll be the aim. I'm not sure who's on the who's on pad and wheel. I'm afraid, Carl. There's only a couple I know that are on the wheel, like Zom's on the wheel, Mike's on the wheel, etc. I don't know, like Owen and Faber and Max. Don't know what they drive on. As Mikey goes for it here, actually. Well, thinks better of it. If he gets himself a good run, he can still make it into turn 1. Okay, unsafe said Faber's on pad. Big respect to the tyre management there if he has done it.
Mikey finally makes that move on Goose.
Absolutely, he's going to be lined up.
Hans is called Max. So Super Hans onto the podium.
Fantastic drive from him so far. He started near the back of the grid, I believe.
So he's made that soft tyre count in this one.
Yeah, he's done a great job of making it last as well, because he's still got a bit of wear there for the last couple of laps. He's got a bit of tyre. I imagine Owen's now gone.
Yep.
Well, pretty much. That's not far behind.
That's not going to be fun to drive.
He'll just about get away with this, Faber, to be fair. He'll have enough left for that last push.
He can just coax that round. He's only got this last lap to do now. It's been a commanding drive from Faber.
Yeah, it's the drive I think people expected of him. And he has delivered it, which is all you can ask. Ooh. Thought Max was hooking a little bit of that outside asphalt, but he was alright.
How's Mike getting on? He's caught and past Glyn now, up into P6.
Yep. Nice he does it. He could have done with getting past Glyn probably earlier in that lap if he wanted to push on towards Derek. Because now he's got a couple of seconds to catch, just one lap remaining.
And he being challenged by Nobby.
intriguing. So we haven't quite seen the one-stop executed properly yet, so we don't really know if it is the quicker strategy, because Mikey had a spin, Andy's had a spin, so we don't really know yet if it's quicker or not. It hasn't really answered any of our questions.
Yep, Owen's now on the rims.
Yeah, thankfully he's done most of the lap, so he's okay.
Yeah, he's got a big enough gap back to Super Hans in P3 that he should be able to nurse this round the last corner. But over the line, Fever takes race 1. Owen looks fairly happy with P2.
Yeah, it's a good drive from Owen, that.
But driver of the race probably goes to Super Hans.
Yeah, it's a fantastic race. Still got plenty of tyres left. He's done well.
Max, the first of the medium tyre runners in P4.
Yeah,
Derek's gonna hold off Mikey.
Yeah, it got close. I think, as I said, if Mikey passed Glyn earlier in the lap,
Zom, Andy, Glyn, and Goose round off the top 10.
Yeah, Glyn's had a moment somewhere then, because he's lost a couple of positions.
Yeah, Nobby ending up in P11 after a promising first lap or two. Jonesy 12th, Johnny Boy 13th, Joe Burns on his first race back in 14th. Of course, still very much getting up to speed. And Royston at a track where he has openly said he's struggling in P15.
Yeah, it's probably the most out of position driver, you'd say, based on previous season's performance.
Yeah.
Is Royston. I mean, he was extremely fast in both the Porsche and the Super Formula last season. So, surprised that.
Right, I have run out of cider, so I'll be right back.
Only the important things from you. Yeah, so I said Feber doing probably what was expected with that P1. Manages tyres well on the softs. I think the Subaru is a decent tyre wear car. So he's managed to make them last. Owen on the rims, but got the work done by getting the pace in earlier. Just trying to work out which team has benefited from that. So you seem to have a bit of a mix. I think you're a couple of Renaults there, I believe, that are in the same team. Looking at the liveries.
Yep.
So they've had
Owen and Max. So
yeah, they've had a good week. Or a good race, I should say. They might have a terrible week. They might just come last next time. Apart from that, it's fairly well spread. I mean, you've got an Only Man's at P1. You've got a Quick Fit in P3. Some form of... I don't know what team... What team was Derek in?
Was he part of the... was he part of Tom's Mong squad or something?
He could be the Mong squad. A couple of Quick Fit cars a bit lower down there in 12th and 13th. A couple of the Stanley Tall cars, unfortunately, in 11th and 15th as well. And a couple of Only Mans in 9th and 10th. So you've got to say the Renaults were probably the winners of that.
A bag full of spanners is quite heavy, so...
Yeah. Absolutely. Wouldn't be too harsh on yourself, Owen. You brought back a strong P2. Good result.
Right, so we know 5 drivers now that can no longer use the soft tyre tonight. So who's gambling this race? So it looks like Jonesy's going to have a crack. Max is going to use his soft. Remember, it's starting grid based on the finishing order of that race. So Max going to use the soft from P4.
Yep, it's a good starting position, that.
Derek's got the soft selected. He'll be starting P5, I think he was in the end, ahead of Mikey.
Yeah, again, could be got a promising race ahead of him.
So, looks like it's just the 3 at the moment.
Yeah, I heard, obviously we met up for the touring cars at the weekend. I heard Jonesy say that he thinks the play is using the softs in the middle race because he believes most people will use it in the first or last race. So he's at the follow through on that. He's gone for the softs in the middle race. Fair play.
Stuck with his convictions. So yeah,
he has.
Fair play. I rate it.
Absolutely. So who's going to want a better performance out of this race? Do you reckon? Then I mean, Royston will probably want a better finish, but then he says he doesn't like the track anyway. But he'll probably want to come off the back of the grid. Trying to remember where everyone else finished. I
think Andy would have felt he was out of position there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had a few early tangles which hampered him. I think Jonesy in that Ferrari on the soft tyres could be one to watch in this.
Yeah, it's just about getting that consistency now. So when we talked about pad and wheel, Jonesy has just moved over to wheel, as we all know from the end of last season. So it's that consistency is what you lose when you move devices. You can pull out a pretty good lap, I find, when you just move to wheel every now and again. It's just getting that consistency, which is hard. But here we go.
So we know that the RCZ was pretty good off the line in race 1, but I'll be interested to see what the Renault of Max does on the soft tyre from the second row. So keep an eye on the right side of the screen, second car back. That should move forward in the early going. It looks like a good start from Derek.
Yeah, he's got off the line well.
Straight through the middle.
You definitely want to be on that inside line for this. Oh, Derek's gone in hot there into third.
Yeah, bit of hip and shoulder. Oh, that's Faber round. I think did he get tagged?
He did, but he did also kind of get straightened up by a tag as well. So he's got away with that, to be honest. Obviously, he's still going to be further back, but it could have been a lot worse. Here goes Zom, down the inside of Mikey.
Got Zom on the inside of Mike. Andy looking around the outside.
He ended up on the grass there the first race by going around the outside, but he's kept it on the track this time. Right around the outside again. It's a good move from Andy, that. Upward to P5. He's going to come back from Mikey, though. Ooh, can close up there, but he does okay. So to P5. Nice slide on exit as well. Side by side in the background, you got Nobby. Just about kept it ahead of Goose. A whole bunch of cars.
So, as I said, Max working his way forward and he's taking Derek with him. So the two soft tyre boys on the move. Zom's there as well on the softs. They must be changed.
That could have explained the launch.
Derek. He swapped those over quite quickly because he was on mediums when I checked.
just faking us, sorry.
Yeah.
He's doing. Master of the mind games. So out in front, I mean, Owen's currently leading. And Max is on the softs behind him. Derek's on the softs behind him.
Zom's on the soft behind him. So here goes Max into P1.
Yeah, he's going to want to get this done. He's going to want to use those softs. Does do fairly comfortably in the end there. A couple of attempts clear as approaching the hairpin.
He'll be looking to his mate here to be a bit of a roadblock for a couple of corners if he can.
Yeah, we've seen that first race that Max did have some pretty decent pace. So if you can get a little gap, I'm sure he'll be able to hold it. He's doing alright in 6th.
Right. Where is he? Mike, why are you 13th? What have you done? Yeah, he's had another lap 1 drama.
He has. He can recover to 11th though, so it'll be alright. Got Joe and Glyn, which are queuing up behind Royston.
Joe's had a fairly decent start, up from 14th.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the laps from the previous race, he had one large incident where he did a 1 minute 40 lap. So let's see what he can do when he hopefully doesn't have a large spin.
Bit of dirt kicked up by Royston out the last corner, who's also had a good start.
Oh yes, up towards the front of the grid, looks like Derek has got himself past Owen.
He
so
has.
He can now use those soft tyres. Zom's going to look to get past him as well. So Owen's not managed to hold Derek up for too long. Oh my god.
Now, pretty sure you're about to see a red bar appear above Zom's name. If it doesn't, how's he got away with that?
That inside curb's a bit weird. You can sometimes get away with that.
Zom's found the line.
That's definitely a line. Don't know if it was a quick line, but it was a line. We've got Faber, who's now recovering to 6th. So as I said, he kind of got helped out by a car on his outside. He got tagged, but then straightened up. A lot better than it could have been.
Two only man's cars getting into one another there.
Yeah, they were very close last race where they finished, so this might just be a season-long battle. Who knows? You've got to think for that middle set, that Lambo is going to turn a lot better as Joe puts Royce under a lot of pressure.
Side by side up ahead. Who was that?
There goes Zom.
It's Zom. Yep.
He's going to get a better run as well. We've got P1, 2 and 3 on the softs now, so are we going to see a stop from one of the front runners for the soft tyre to truly see if this one stop is better? Or are they going to try and drag it out to a no stop just like Fever and Owen did?
Yeah, well, Max and Derek looking fairly even on tyre wear. It's the rear tyre on Derek slightly better at this point than Max.
Difference between what Owen and Faber had compared to these guys is that they had a big gap between each other, so they weren't really battling. They could just sort of drive their line. Whereas these guys are only a second apart, so if they get a bit closer and start battling, that tyre wear is going to increase. They won't be able to focus on conserving.
Joe's managed to get ahead of Royston. And Mikey's dropped even further off the field.
Yeah, he's not enjoying it. Those mediums have not been Mikey's friend.
So I wonder if that's just the difference in tyre and Mike hasn't quite got his brain engaged yet. Well, yeah, I say he's got his brain engaged yet. Has Mikey ever had his brain engaged?
Yeah, there was that one race at the start of GT7. I think it was Road Atalanta. Yeah, he was engaged for that.
His other favourite track. I'll tell you what, if this was Dragon Trail Seaside, Mike could be off and clear.
Oh yes.
So, Zom matching the fastest lap time that Faber did in race 1.
Yeah, it's showing some good pace actually, that 31.3. The question is, can he do it for 7 laps like Faber did?
Well, he's up the inside of Andy here into the chicane.
Right around the outside, that is a lovely move.
Yeah, and respectful driving there from Andy.
Yeah, he decided not to turn onto a sausage curb, so good driving. Nobby's having a solid race in P7.
Yep, Royston trying to keep Glynn at arm's length, but bit of contact.
Tagged him there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Glynn has tagged Royston there. Let's see if he holds up or if he's going to just take a penalty.
No, he's hanging about.
Yeah, that was a clear-cut one, that one.
Yeah.
One of those where you just get a better exit than the car in front of you. Catches you a little bit off guard and you end up making a little bit of contact. It happens to everyone.
It happens.
Closing up. It's closing up at the front, isn't it?
Yep.
Got Zom's probably looking the quicker car at the moment, so he is going to be using those tyres by doing this though. So it's 31.2, very good lap again. So Zom is matching, if not slightly beating Fever's pace from race 1. Question is, can he get past Derek?
I think this is teammate on teammate, isn't it? as well.
Doesn't it? Yeah, it looks to be. It's definitely a lot of white
Or
and
a
black if it isn't.
lot of curb for Derek there over the first part of the chicane.
Yeah, he gets a good run though out of that.
Yeah, I think his compromised run through the first part just checked Zom up, and Derek was able to just stretch his legs a bit.
Yeah, this is all helping Max out front, who's just been sort of having that 1.2, 1.3 second gap.
Yeah,
Just letting him run his own race a little bit.
Needs to keep an eye on that right rear, I think, on his car.
Yeah, Derek's tyres wear's looking okay. It's looking manageable.
Yeah, I think the two, Derek and Zom are both looking pretty good on tyre wear at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Fever's still hanging around in 5th.
Yep.
He's going to look into punching a couple of 32s now, I think, to close up to Owen up ahead.
Well, they're sort of trading lap times with one another at the moment, these two.
Indeedy. So Andy's definitely going better this race as well. 32.9, solid lap on the mediums. That Nobby's done a 32.7 on the mediums as well, very decent pace. He's got a 3-second gap to Jones behind, which is going to... Not much pressure being put on there, so hopefully Nobby can drive his race, continue. P7.
Jonesy just nursing these soft tyres, do you think, or?
I think it is still that new. He's on the wheel. He's still learning it.
Yeah.
So I think he's just trying to stay on the track. That's what I'd be doing at the moment. Like he's not really making progress. He's only 15th.
Or Derek's caught right onto the back of Max.
Yeah, I think Max has had a small moment somewhere, maybe out of a turn 2, 3.
He's half a second down through sector 2.
Yeah, he's lost a bit of time there in the first sector. And maybe at the hairpin as well. He's going to give Derek a run here into turn 1, depending on his exit of this sector. Goes for a tighter line. Max going for more of a swinging one. I think the Max line there gives him a better exit. Now, one thing I noticed when I was trying to drive a follower Mitsubishi was the acceleration out of the corners in that car is very good. In the Mitsubishi.
It's got some traction on it, hasn't it?
Yeah, you really need to get a great exit just to neutralise it, really, to then try and make an overtake. So, if you can, oh my god,
Derek could be using the sausage curbs there.
It's not how you want to do it. That. Yeah, I mean, Unsafe in the chat has said that Mikey's going for a reverse grid pole. It's a solid effort in that respect.
I mean, if that's the strategy Mike's committed to, then yeah, he's gone all in on it.
Absolutely.
So, Fever Owen.
Yeah, Owen's putting a couple of decent laps actually. So he's managed to hold Fever at bay, but
yeah, Fever just a couple of attempts better off over the last 2 laps.
Yeah, that 32 flat there is a good lap on the mediums, based on what we've seen today.
Well, it's halfway through and no pit stops yet.
Indeedy. The drivers seem to have decided that it's worth it running on the rims for a couple of laps, unless you can nurse them like Fever. I think if you've got some clean air, the pit stop is definitely a viable option. Yeah, shame we can't really test it out.
Oh, here we go.
Derek
The
around the outside.
top three.
Oh God!
Together.
Take a picture, anyone. That is a good
So,
thumbnail.
yep, and Max going from first to third in the blink of an eye.
Poor guy.
Just been he's been mugged by the two teammates.
Yeah, Derek and Zom go through. Imagine Max's tyres are probably... Oh my God, he was a bit wide on the exit there. Yeah, he's still wide. That's the problem with that corner. You get wide one corner, you just keep going wide for the rest of the right-hander. Yeah, that right rear is going to be a problem. As is the right front, to be fair. And he's not going to be able to turn.
Yeah, so they all seem fairly level on the front tyre. It's the rear tyre where the difference is.
Oh yes. Right, so what sort of exit are they going to get out of this first sector then? Because Zom's in position. Oh, that's perfect. Lovely run. You can see there the traction of that Mitsubishi.
Yeah, but he's just launched off of the corner, despite Zom getting the line pretty much nailed on.
Oh yes. Again.
And again, launch out the corner.
Yeah, I did say when I was doing my testing that I thought the Mitsubishi had been a little bit overlooked in GT1. And yeah. It's to be honest, it is a really decent little race car.
Nobby's got himself ahead of Andy. Another decent race from Nobby here. It's certainly shaping up to be one as Andy's doing some rally crossing in the BMW.
Oof. Oh yes. Joe's solid in 8th. We haven't seen a mistake this time around. He's just dipped into the 32s as well on the mediums. But he's getting quicker. We've not seen the same pace from super hands on the mediums that we saw comparatively on the softs. Not quite got that speed.
Yeah, the quick fit car's not enjoying a good race this time round as Mikey's having another Mikey moment.
He's continued that spin as well, which is quite nice. He sort of picked up the start and second part of that. Oh, he's still going. Oh, no, he's alright.
Go on, Mike.
Let's just leave him to it.
So Derek's put some distance between himself and Zom.
Interestingly, if you look at the times they're doing now, they're in the 33s.
Yeah.
All that battling. So they are not making ground. Those tyres on Max's cars are looking scary. I would be concerned if I was in his position at this point.
Yeah, I'd be concerned over these next 5 laps.
Yeah, I think they're going to run out in 2 laps, maybe 3 at a push. He's going to have to do a couple of laps, maybe even 3 laps on basically rims, which is going to put him into the clutches of Fever, definitely, maybe even Owen.
Yeah. So Fever's he's 4 seconds off the lead. Yeah, with considerably more tyre on his car.
He's in striking distance there. I mean, if those guys get towards the rims on their tyres, they're going to lose a couple of seconds a lap. Fever's right there. Not over yet.
Oh yeah, unsafe calling it. Fever for the win.
He's well positioned to take advantage of any tyre issues for front. I feel like Anthony Davidson, all we're talking about is tyres. Oh, he took a lot of curb as Fever there, but it's worked out in a decent run. He's also
penalty for Fever.
A penalty. It's too much curb. What he's going to want to do is get past Max, pull a gap so he can serve that penalty without losing that position back again. Because what's going to happen if he serves the penalty, he's going to have to overtake him again. Or even maybe get under pressure by Owen. I mean, our
Yeah,
team is currently back to front.
it is.
Our AM driver is leading the way for us. And then our pro and pro am are not, which is intriguing.
Well, Joe's eating into Andy's lead.
Yeah, as I said, he's been doing some very consistent laps now as Joe.
Goose and Super Hans running very close together as well.
Here we go then. So it's another 33 from Max, which it's not going to.
A 34 from Max that time around.
34. It's not going to keep Fever behind for very long.
A 34 from Fever, having served the penalty, of course.
Yes, it's not going to keep him behind for long. Max's tyres. What are we saying?
Oh,
Oh,
steady, Fever.
you leave that inner sausage curb alone. You leave it alone. How's Max getting on with his tyres? I imagine they're oh. He's tried to conserve it a little bit on this lap, but yes, that's going to get very, very ugly. You've got Owen and Fever are going to be an immediate threat. You've got Nobby, who's not even that far behind. Depending on how early those tyres go off, could also be a threat. Derek is going to be hoping that Max can just keep Fever at bay a little bit. He doesn't want to steam straight past. That's not going to want to turn. Got a half decent exit, to be fair, didn't Max? Yeah, he's now 5 seconds off the lead. You can see how this is
This
hurting
is
Fever's chance. He needs to get a good exit. He's not got a good exit.
I thought this time round he's avoided that sausage curb, he'll be all right. But there's just that little dip on the inside of that corner that's caught him.
Absolutely.
So Joe's past Andy now, up to P7.
Yeah, much better drive from Joe this race.
Yep. Andy having a look back.
Yeah, there's a lot more traction on the outside line there, not from the hairpin, I find. Well held from Joe. Oh, Andy's right on the edge there.
Looks to be a bit of a cluster behind these guys. We've got Hans, Glynn and Goose still glued together.
Yeah, the two only man's cars have made very little progress throughout this race, which they will not be happy with.
Mike can see another car now.
Yeah, I think soft hands Jonesy's had an error somewhere.
Max still holding Fever off.
Oh, those tyres are gone now. So it's,
this is a question of when, not if, I think.
Right, come on, Fever. Sector 1 again, mate. He's not down that sausage curb.
That looks better.
Yeah, clean.
Max. Big old squeeze to the left.
He's still squeezing.
Send Fever around the outside, and we've seen there's some grip out there.
There is, especially this line here. This is where the grip is.
And there he goes. Fever up to third.
Yeah,
good
Max
move.
Couldn't have made that any harder.
Nope.
Oof. Yeah, this tyre's going to be a problem now. I mean, Owen's going to cruise to the back of him. He's already on him. Teammates, of course.
Yeah, the two out in front, you would say, should be safe from any attack from Fever behind.
Should be. That tyre is about to disappear, though.
Yeah, I did say should. I'm not going to stake my house on it or anything. And
Yeah,
Odon
Max.
past Max.
Yeah. Is Max going to hold off Nobby? I mean, his tyres have gone, so we'll see. Yeah, 1.7. I mean, with those dead tyres, it's not unreasonable that he would be on the back of
No,
him.
Andy and Burns switching positions again.
I think Zom isn't safe here. Side, to be honest, I mean, there's 2 laps for Zom and
Oh,
Derek to do.
go and have a look. Glyn and Goose still glued together.
Even though it's 4 seconds, I don't know. It just depends for this middle sector. How much is that tyre going to hurt Zom? Might be alright.
I mean, it'll be bad, but it shouldn't be as bad because a lot of this sector now is turning. It'll be the triple right-hander where the most pain would come.
Very true.
But it being the inside tyre, it shouldn't be as bad. It'll be bad, but
Oh, I mean, he's lost 1.5 seconds through that first bit of the middle sector.
Zom's just got to go easy through this last corner. Don't run wide.
Yeah, he should have just enough time.
He's made absolutely certain he doesn't run wide. So
that's good driving on the dead tyres there.
Yep. So Derek takes race 2.
Lovely drive.
Zom with second and Feber rounding out the podium. Owen for fourth. Max and Nobby almost. Nobby almost got him.
As you said, right on the back.
Joe's got ahead of Andy again, so 7th and 8th in that order. Super Hans comes home for 9th. Glyn's going to round out the top 10. Goose is going to follow him home. Royston 12th. Johnny Boy 13th. Jonesy getting as close as the barrier as he can get out of the triple right-hander. He's going to come home 14th. And Mike, let's be honest, has had a Western Super.
Absolutely. If there's one thing he's good at, though, as proven there across the line, it's spinning. So that was an impressive 360.
So Mike making sure that the reverse grid pole strategy was secured.
Yep, it is part of the team strategy, so it's nice to see it pay off. Yeah, I think consistency probably won Derek that race. Didn't have the quickest lap time. However, didn't make any errors. Don't worry, Max, we noticed that your tyres were completely gone. We were keeping a keen eye on that one.
Owen already concerned with whether or not he's leading the championship or not. Elite mentality, that.
Absolutely elite. I believe Feber is probably
If you
Leading the
cross if you
championship.
cross Fever off.
Oh right. Yeah. If you cross Faber off. I mean, you wouldn't. You could just say second, but I think so. I mean, what, if you had like a P3? Was it a P2 and a P3 for Owen?
Uh, P2,
Was it
P4.
P4? Yeah. So yeah, probably. Fever's done a P1, P3, so that'll definitely put him first. Then probably Derek will be there or thereabouts because he's had a P5 and a P1, so he's going to be close as well. And then you'll have a bit of a gap there, I think, to people that have had a bit of a few random results.
So grid set.
What are we saying on tyres then? Who's
So
still got to use their soft?
So Nobby's got the softs. Johnny Boy on the softs. Goose on the softs. Glyn on the softs. Royston. Joe Burns. That's it.
That is it.
I think that's everyone.
Just maybe slightly worried and maybe think that maybe I need to drag the softs to a no stop tomorrow, which is making me concerned because I don't want to. But then I also think we
You
haven't
don't
seen
want
the
to
one
take that
stop.
pain.
No, I don't think we've seen the one stop executed properly either. So still a bit up in the air for what is the quickest strategy. I think it's shown if you can make those tyres last all the way to the end, then no stop is the way to go, like Feber did in race 1. Then as Max did in race 2 there, if your tyres go off too quickly, then you're probably better off making that stop. But it's yeah, it's right on the edge. In terms of tyre melters that are going for the soft run, we've got a Goose, who I believe is a tyre muncher. So if he doesn't know stop, then pray for him. Here we go then.
Right, final race of the evening. Here we go. And again, it looks like a good launch from Mike in the RCZ, although Jonesy is drawing level.
Yeah, Ferrari gets away well. Side by side to turn one.
Mikey holds it round the outside.
Oh, I've got some cars off on the
what we've got in
background
the
there.
background.
And there's definitely one of the Beamers, yep. Andy's gone. Fever's been involved in something. Yeah, it's not cost too much time that though. You can kind of scrape that barrier and not spin. Any big movers in the first lap? I mean, Goose is going alright there in 5th.
Yeah,
Nobby's doing okay.
Goose and Nobby have started well by the look of it.
Yeah, I mean, Nobby was what, P6, P7 in the last race, so he's doing well.
So we've got Royston, Nobby and Goose on the soft tyre. Oh! Nobby's just been pitched to Narnia.
Yeah, that's not ideal. I mean, I didn't really see all of the incident.
Hahn's having a big old slide and into the barriers.
He's tagged.
Yeah, he's rejoined and tagged.
Might have been okay, to be fair, the person he tagged. Tom slowing down. As always, with reverse grids, it's got some carnage. Fever's just realised last seconds on serving that penalty because he dived to the inside. People that have emerged unscathed, I mean...
Jones had a moment out of the final corner, so he's dropped out of P2.
Yeah, I mean, kind of no one went unscathed apart from like the top couple of drivers. There's no one really that made their way through cleanly. So it's kind of as you were, really. Got Mikey up top. Jonesy's fourth.
So Royston and Glyn have got themselves up a couple of positions in this one.
Oh yes. Oh my god,
Oh,
that got very condensed very quickly. A few shove and bumps. It's still
oh,
going.
it's still
Someone's
going
gone
on.
entirely over the sausage curb. They're about 4 wide. This is not good.
Look at this cluster. Oh my word.
I wouldn't want to be Jonesy. Max needs to not put that down the middle there. They've all gone to the
I
inside,
say,
the background.
where'd you go? Oh god.
I think inside line's probably your best punt at this point. Derek somehow got through all of them. He's in 7th. Well then, that is what reverse grids do, I suppose. The fact that everyone's still pointing in the right direction is quite a surprise. Here we goes for an ambitious move. It's made it stick though, right around the outside. Oh, Max has just held him off. That was exciting, Si.
That's what we want to see.
It's not what I want to drive in, but it's
No,
what I want to see.
I don't want to drive in it, but spectating it was great fun.
Alright then.
Look at this train coming down the straight.
Yeah, they're still head to tail. There's a couple of sends there. We've got Zom on the inside. Oh, Andy taking a wider line. Superhand to no in side by side in the background as well.
But yeah, despite the early dramas that a couple of these guys had, it's all condensed back up.
Yeah, no one's managed to get through cleanly from the reverse. There isn't really anyone in the top few positions there.
We're not going to look at the front.
No, I think Derek's probably, in terms of people that were reversed, he's done the best job coming through.
Cole's seen that lap and decided he doesn't want to be a reserve anymore.
That's fair enough.
And he's got the overlap on Jonesy. Yep, there he goes.
It's giving Jonesy a nice little door bash on the way through. I respect it. Yeah, Faber's still behind Max here. Still sub there. All that carnage is given top 4 a nice little breakaway gap. Or was it top 3? Might just be the top 3 to be fair. Yeah. Lynn's probably got the quicker pace based on what we've seen this evening out of the top bunch. Depends if Mikey can get those qualifying laps translated into race pace, as always. Royston's found some speed.
Yeah, it looked like Royston had the speed to possibly send one on Mike there, and he has in the end. Looked like he was just bumping him down the straight.
Yeah, he's through. So we've seen. Is he on the softs as Royston? Is he?
He is, yeah. Royston's using his softs this race.
Cool. Well, let's see what he's going to do. No stop seems to be the way.
Oh, so Goose off in the background.
A bit of Lamborghini traction there. Maybe a bit of contact with Johnny Boy. I don't know if he's eased off a little bit. Seems to be people getting down the inside.
Oh, and he's been caught out by some braking points there and had to take evasive action.
I'm trying to work out what Johnny Boy's doing here, to be honest.
I say, I don't know if he knows whether he needs to wait or not.
Well, he needs to decide one or the other. He needs to either get going or pull off to the side, rather than drive slowly down the racing line. I think he's decided to get a move on now. That's not where you want to send it. He's going to get in trouble for that.
I think he's going to head up in the headmaster's office for that one.
That is not where you do the overtake into that corner. It only ever ends in one way, and the person on the outside always ends up in the gravel. It's not the corner. So heading back towards the front then, Royston has hit the front. Half a second clear. Glynn is keeping pace, if arguably closing in, both on the soft tyre. Mikey just needs to see if he can hold that now. The tyre wear will come back to him towards the end of the race. So he needs to just stick as close to the top 2 as he can, really, isn't he?
Yeah, just try and keep it consistent, manage his pace. Which are probably 2 of the hardest things for Mike to do.
Pagani's gone full Shakespeare. What is going on in this race? I don't know, Pagani. I didn't know you were capable of Shakespeare, but I'm very impressed. Joe's going well actually on the softs. He's up into P4. I don't think he'll have much tyre wear either. He's a very, very smooth driver. And Derek is still having a scrap with Max and Faber. Max turns in. Don't think he realised Faber was there. He's still turning in. Just a bit naughty. Questionable driving.
It almost looked like he was having a moment on the brakes there, and then it just continued on the exit.
Yeah, we'll find out. Hopefully that's just sliding rather than turning.
It looked a bit weird.
Yeah, I think that scrap between Faber and Max is continuing. Unless they've finally sorted themselves out. Yeah, seem to have. Yeah, that group, Derek, Faber and Max, have been together since the start of this race. They're trying to make ground forwards. Owen's not made any ground on the reverse grid at all. He's still in 10th.
Yep, Johnny Boy on the softs, putting him under some pressure here.
Yeah, that inside line is definitely the one you want through turn 1 if you're racing each other. Just because of the way the corner is.
Nodon's got Nobby on the soft tyre, queuing up now.
Yeah, he got a bit unlucky there, did Nobby on the start. He got pinged off by someone, I can't remember who it was.
Yeah. Oh. There goes Nobby up the inside of Johnny.
Yeah. Not much room given there, but just about enough.
Odon using all of the available track to him to make that move.
Absolutely. But, I said Owens really not making ground. I mean, he's in 11th from that reverse grid. We've seen the previous races. He's got a lot of pace. And he's just not been able to make those overtakes at the minute. When you see that the people that finished around him are now P5, P6, P7.
Bieber's got himself ahead of Derek on this lap as well.
Yeah, he's got his head down now from whatever was going on between him and Max.
So
he's
top four as you were.
Right, Mike, he's in a good position here. He's at 8 tenths off the leading 2 on the medium tyre.
Tyre situation in front though.
Glynn's not looking good, is he?
Glynn's looking a bit dodgy, I would say.
That's
touch and go as to whether you carry on at this point.
I'd pit. He's going to be out of tyres with 4 laps to go. I would pit.
Nobby's recovery drive seems to be going okay at the moment.
Oh, that's a bit of a move there from Supan's quite late. And he's put out. He's not had a lot of luck today, Andy. He's been sort of caught up in a few incidents.
No, I think Nobby was not quite expecting Andy to be there on the exit of the corner.
Yeah, those soft tyres as they do give you a lot more traction out of those zones.
Yeah, soft tyres on the Evo, we've seen quite a good combination.
Yeah, it does give you a lovely launch out of those corners. So when Nobby was following me around the other race, he got a couple of very good exits. He's going to go for it down the inside. And to be honest, he's got the line to perfection. But yep. Nobby's still got through on the soft tyres. And he did well, that was about as wide as you could go. And Nobby's going to put Superhand under pressure here.
Yep, he's made him go defensive down the straight.
It's an ambitious move from Nobby there onto the inside. Thankfully, Superhands has seen him coming. Into turn 2. 3. He's going to be very close to this sausage curb, just about avoids it. And he's down the inside there. Got Ellen queuing up behind.
That compromised line there for Nobby.
Yeah, it's
cost him dearly.
Heading up towards the front of the grid. This Nobby sends it.
I say, just see whether or not Nobby makes this or not.
It didn't look on that really.
No.
So heading up, you've got Glynn, who is now hit the front. Mackie's had Mikey's still in P3. And those tyres on Glyn, that's going to need a pit stop now.
This needs a pit stop.
He's going to be out of tyres on lap 11. He needs a pit stop. If anyone is in a party with him, please tell him to a pit. It's going to be very painful otherwise. Thank God for that. Right. To be honest, Royston's not looking too healthy either, so he's going to have a struggle towards the end of this race. Joe is there. I don't know where Joe's come from, but he is there.
Well, Joe's there and Joe's on the soft tyre. He's come up against a black and yellow wall.
Oh, yes.
But that's not going to stop him. He's up the inside of Mike for turn 2.
Oh, lovely move. Very nice. Mike gave him a lot of room in Mike's credit. Again, he's probably going to think that these cars are going to come back towards him towards the end of this race, which they are. So, Joe's got a good run here, actually.
He's going to have to go the long way round.
Yep. Very long way around. His brakes extremely late. Royston, the perfect defensive line through that corner.
Yep, shuts the door on the exit.
Thankfully, Lennon said he'd already told him to make the pit stop, which is good. Joe around the outside. He's going to have to hold it. Royston's got the better exit though. Mike's going to follow him through. Again, this is a messy corner to go side by side. Joe's somehow on the inside of all of them. It's very, very tight there. They've got through though. That was not easily done. Still side by side.
Yeah, well, like Pagani says, while these three are battling with each other, Feber's just closing in a bit, I think.
Yeah, he will be. That'll be down to about...
Burns is in.
Yeah.
As is Royston.
Again, that rear was not doing it. Royston needed to pit as well.
Right, so is this where we get a better indication of what the pit stop strategy does?
Especially with Glyn. I mean, Glyn's come out in 5th there. So he's on fresh tyres in 5th place, 9 seconds off the lead.
And while these guys were cutting him and battling, he's jumped the pair of them, Royston and Joe Burns.
Yep, he's in well positioned. He's going to catch Max and Derek as well, because they're going to continue to battle ahead of him. Well, not continue to battle, but they're going to...
But he's already rounded up Max.
Yeah, Max has not made friends this race, so he's not going to be one to give up this position. Right round the outside he goes. We've seen the grip is there.
And on a fresh set of soft tyres to boot.
Absolutely, that is the racing line throughout the outside bit. That's why you see the grip being there. Biggles been told to can it in the chat. I'm not going to even say what Biggles has said. That will not be the reason.
No, we're not touching that.
Nope. So what gap does Phoebe have to make up here? 3.7 seconds. It's definitely doable. We've seen the pace that Phoebe's have. We've also seen the pace that Mikey has in qualifying.
Max has come back at Glyn.
Again, he's... I don't know what he thought would be there. Like, the Glyn was always going to be at that corner, but he turned it as if he wasn't. I think Max might be taking a trip to the stewards this race, based on what we've seen. So Glyn's got 3.7 seconds now to catch up on Derek. You feel like he's probably going to make that time. However, that battling with Max has put him 10 seconds off the lead, which is going to be a stretch. 12 seconds off the lead. That's Max, sorry, yeah, 10 seconds off the lead.
So Max has now got Royston coming at him. Joe's not far behind. Of course, these two on fresh softs.
Absolutely. Royston goes for it. Said. Slightly confused about some of Max's steering inputs coming out of that hairpin, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt until we've seen the onboards. Going to be under pressure from Joe here, though. Going to get a good run into the penultimate corners. Can Joe get a good enough exit? Looks like he's got that exit. Vicious going for the outside. I probably would have tried to take the inside line. He's going to give himself a lot of work to do through turn 1. Max is going to squeeze in right to the edge of the circuit. Goes for the switchback. Joe is alongside here.
Well driven.
That was a lovely move, that. Lined him up. Got it done. Although Max has got an extremely good exit out of that corner, so he's going to be under pressure here going into the hairpin.
Yeah, the angle Joe had for turn 4 has put him under pressure.
Brakes extremely late.
But
just about gets it stopped.
Now he should be able to make that soft tyre work through here and build that gap to Max.
Yes. How is Glynn getting on in 4th? Is he making any impression on Derek on those soft tyres? Not really. Still about 3 seconds.
Yeah, and that gap to Mikey has only come down, what, half a tenth, 3/4 of a second?
Yeah, he's not quite switched those, for whatever reason, not quite banged in the quick laps on that second set. Morrison's still on for a much better result here compared to the previous 2 races.
Yeah, I think Royston, even by his own admission, anything in race 3 could have outdone the first 2.
Oh yes. How's our gap at the front doing?
Now
it was 3.7.
It's now 2.2. Feber's coming.
Oh yes. Yeah, Glynn is not making that impression. So Derek's putting in some decent little laps here on the mediums. Joe looks to have a bit of a pace up on Royston as well, so it's going to be a battle for P5 here soon. Royston dips a wheel as well on that exit, makes it harder to turn in with the final right-hander. Joe's going to have an opportunity, decides to hold off for a turn 1 option. Royston goes extremely deep though.
I think he solved Royston the dummy there.
Yeah, that is Joe through into P5. So on his return to racing, very decent result so far, but Royston is going to be able to come back at him here. Joe's not covered the inside line. Is he going to get the grip on the outside? Just about. Going to have a little look here though as Royston. Bit of a late one. Joe didn't see him coming. Don't know how he didn't see him. He was within half a second, or half a tenth of him. But he didn't see him. Yeah, 1.9. Derek is still 3 seconds ahead of Glynn, so Glynn's not making that. Didn't work here, although he's getting half a second through one corner. Joe needs to see if he can just stretch this through this middle sector. The Lambo should be good through here. Yeah, it's a couple of attempts. Decent line. Nicely done. You can't really tell from here that Andy's head's gone.
Oh, interesting line there from Johnny.
Don't usually see that one. Soft hands Jonesy bringing up the rear. 1.2. This is going to get close.
Yep, I think Mike may be starting to feel Fever's breath on the back of his neck.
Yep. What cars? Is it the Subaru Fever's in as well?
Subaru for Fever, yep.
Yeah. If he gets close, he's gonna have the straight line speed. So Mikey's gonna want to keep him 7 tenths back. Because if he gets a bit of slipstream with that Subaru straight line, he's gonna be alongside him. He's had a good little run out of that first sector though, as Mikey. And
Yeah,
a good line out of the
he's had a
hairpin.
good hairpin as well, yeah.
Here's this more technical middle sector.
Yeah, Joe's just dropped Royston.
Yeah, through that middle bit, Phoebe's gained about half a second, so they're quick in different areas of the track. Are these two? Right on the edge there from Mikey.
Yeah,
Probably had to ease off a little bit, I think.
Fever had a very strong corner there.
Yeah, and he's going to be about 7 tenths. So this is
Mike needs to nail this corner exit.
good entry. Looked good, but Fever had an absolute worldie of a.
Mike knows he needs to try and break that toe.
Yeah, that he has done. I mean, it's worked out well for him. Considering the straight line of that Subaru, that's not a bad result. So he's got 6 tenths. He said this is where he gained the time, was through sector 1 on Fever. He's been strong through here.
He went deep into turn 2 there, didn't he?
He went very deep. He compromised well. Still got a good run towards the hairpin. Fever is going to be close. He's going to try a big send, is Fever, right around the outside. Mikey just breaks a little bit late. Too late. Is Fever through?
I think he is.
Just about through. Mikey's going to try it though, right around the inside again, gets stopped. Fever is through. Can Mikey get around the outside of here? This would be an ambitious move if he does.
He's tried it.
Overlap. Oh, fair play.
Oh, bit of a wiggle
good racing from these two. He's going to have an option here into this final corner from Mikey. What's he going to do? Decides without the big send, hoping Fever goes a little bit late. Not going to happen though. I think in the end it was the tyre wear that did it for Mikey. Did not have as new a set on those rears for the exit of the corners. And that is Fever taking home race 3. Beautiful stuff.
Yep,
P2 for Mikey.
Joe almost catching Glyn for P4. Good race from Joe, that.
Yeah, very good race from Joe. But no, I enjoyed that battle there from Fever and Mike from the last lap. It was very good. Lots of respect shown.
Valiant effort from Mike.
Yeah, he made as much of an effort there in defence as he could. Just that little break too late into the hairpin
it almost looked like he had 2 bites at the braking point there. His car just sort of jumped forward halfway through the braking zone. It was almost like he'd thought, I've broken too early.
Yeah, as you say, he's probably maybe he thought he broke a bit early and then tried to ease off a bit. In the meantime, Nobby has set the fastest lap of the race. So
go on, Nobby.
Good result there in P11. At least one of our team brought home P11. That's the main thing. Even if it wasn't to be Mike. Yeah, Derek again with a strong result up in P3. So Derek's had a fantastic opening week. So he's had a P5, P1, P3 for Derek. Very, very good. Fever's had a P1, P3, P1. And then Owen had a bit of a stinker. So I think that's Derek and Fever towards the top of the standings from week 1. And then some sort of collection of Owen and other people. P3. But yeah, Fever and Derek, the big winners from week 1.
Yep. So with that, we do it all again tomorrow with GT1.
We do. Absolutely.
So you've got the pleasure of Sean on commentary, or SBY. So he'll guide you through tomorrow night's on-track action. So join him for that. And next week we've got, it's an endurance week, isn't it? So endurance week at St Croix B, I believe it is. So I think that's a 42 lap race. So that's going to be a long slog. But yeah, that's next week. Join SBY tomorrow night for more sprint action from Dragon Trail. Till then, see you later.